I'd like to welcome everyone to Willis ISD's District Dynamics Show for May 7th, 2014. I'm your host, Superintendent Tim Harkrider. We thank you very much for joining us, and as usual, education is exciting and great things are happening in Willis ISD. We're going to start off today with our MVP for April, which was Miss Janet Rex from Cannon Elementary. Janet designs unique lessons and goes above and beyond to help her students be successful. In my opinion, she's the epitome of a classroom leader. She shares her ideas with other teachers and a tremendous asset to our district and to Cannon. And to be able to see her work with kids is truly what I call kid magic. I'm stealing that from a phrase of a district that I work for in the Metroplex. And kids are attracted and go off everything that Janet says, and she gets the most out of her kids. In the first round of testing this year, Janet had 95% of her students pass the fifth grade math test, so we're extremely proud of Janet and feels like she exemplifies our MVP award extremely well. Next, some more exciting news. We added Deborah Walker as our Director of Special Education for Willis ISD at the Board of Trustees meeting in April. She will begin working in the district May the 12th. And we're excited. Debbie received a master's degree in secondary education and a supervisor's certificate in special education from SFA. And her professional background includes a 4-year stint as an executive director of special education for Nacogdoches ISD, has a ton of classroom experience with special populations. She's also worked as a coordinator and a director of assessment programs in San Antonio. And I really feel like Debbie's going to be a great addition to our team, and we're excited for her to get started next week. Also like to congratulate all 3 Willis High School choirs who received Division I superior ratings for their concert performances at UIL contest. Our 2 varsity choirs earned sweepstakes awards, matching their concert ratings with Division I ratings in sight reading as well. And Ken Lobotsky does an outstanding job with our program, and very proud of him and all of our kids involved in his choir program. Willis students did well at the Montgomery County Fair last month. We were about to get kicked off, and our Ag Mechanics program took Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion, and Willis FFA received the overall chapter award. We also had a Grand Champion Turkey, a Reserve Champion Colt, and winners in the Market Swine category, photography, and more. And the Montgomery County Fair is an outstanding event, and our students represented the district very well and made us very proud of their accomplishments. And I would just like to congratulate them, our teachers and parents involved in our program. There's a lot of hard work and dedication that goes a little bit longer than the 2 weeks in the fair. That's an entire year's worth of work a lot of times put in with their animals and their projects. And I'm very proud of their accomplishments. Turner Elementary is bursting with pride as 5th grader Andy McCullough won 3rd place in the 15th Annual Art and Essay Contest hosted by George Bush Presidential Library. Her essay was entitled, "Can You Be a Hero?" It was written about her grandfather, and she participated in an awards ceremony recently at the Bush Library in College Station. And there's nothing like Facebook to advertise a blood drive. And this year, April 9th, our blood drive honored a Willis kindergarten student. And it had the highest participation rate since 2010. And the products collected at that blood drive are said to have helped save 519 lives. So that was just an outstanding accomplishment by that group of volunteers, and very proud of them. The Wildcat team successfully administered the 2nd round of STAR test at the elementary and middle school level, and the TAX test also at Willis High School. While there are still tests to be taken, unfortunately, we now still have the opportunity to help those who need some extra assistance and to transition others into coursework. And this week, our high school students at Willis High School that are taking Algebra 1 or Biology 1 and also U.S. History are taking their end-of-course STAR test. And then we have retests coming up next week for our 5th and 8th graders in math and reading. And our kids and teachers have done an outstanding job. We were pushed so hard for testing, and I want our community and followers to know that our school district is much more about much more than just testing. I don't think one test that our kids take during a year really truly showcases what they're capable of doing, as well as the work and hard work and dedication that our teachers and administrators put in. We'll continue work to make strides for our kids, but we're more concerned with the overall educational product that we give our kids, and we feel like it's top notch. The Wildcat team is continuing to provide challenging opportunities for our students. GT students from kindergarten through 5th grades visited Sam Houston State Monday as part of their research project, Career Pathways. Teacher Education Center professors discuss science, social studies, space, and technology with them. And that's just a great time that, as so many times our kids, a lot of times may or may not even get out of the Willis city limits. And to get them out into a major university right down the road and just to see the big buildings and talk to college professors and let our kids know that there's a lot of opportunities out there for them, and the younger that we can get kids motivated about education, the better we're going to be. We also had 40 Brabham 8th graders also toured the campus at Sam Houston and got a glimpse of college life by talking with students about classes, homework, schedules, and dorm life. And that's just something that we're continuing to do with our kids, is talk about being career ready and what that involves and what their interests are. And you've got to have a plan. And the sooner we can get kids working on a plan for their future, the better chance we give them to be successful with that plan. Our 4th graders from each elementary were honored by the Lake Conroe Area Republican Women at a luncheon last week for their award-winning essays titled My American Hero. Students wrote about heroes ranging from Marcus Luttrell, Ben Franklin, and Albert Einstein to their parents and grandparents. Cannon Elementary student Isabel Gonzalez chose one of her former teachers and a veteran of the U.S. Navy, Marie Rogers, as her hero. It was a great evening. We were there for lunch and to see all of our kids. They were all dressed up real nice, got to read their essays, and family members were there. It was just a very neat afternoon, and the Lake Conroe Area Republican Women do an outstanding job with this writing essay, and they were very gracious hosts for us that afternoon, and we appreciate their support to our school district. Willis High School senior Sarah Lane was also honored at the Lake Conroe Area Republican Women Luncheon as a scholarship recipient. Sarah will graduate summa cum laude and plans to attend Texas A&M University. And you can learn more about scholarships awarded to our seniors on Tuesday, May the 20th at 6 p.m. in the Lynn Lucas Auditorium. We've got a great show set up for that night, and I think you will truly be amazed at what all of our kids do, how much money they've received in scholarships, and where all they're going. And that will be an exciting night for us. In a few short weeks, Willis High School seniors will be rewarded for a job well done. Graduation invitations arrived, and the big day is set for June 6th at 7 p.m. at Sam Houston State Coliseum. A live stream of the ceremony will be available through our website, so please check in, and that's just a neat little perk that we started a few years ago, and my wife actually couldn't attend graduation last year, was able to watch it at home, and so it's a great resource that we have for our community members. Graduating seniors in the top 15% of their class learned their rank in a brief ceremony at the high school last Thursday morning. We're very pleased to announce that our valedictorian for Willis High School class of 2014 will be Catherine Klotz, while Devin Douglas will be recognized as our salutatorian. And congratulations to these students and all who challenged them on their educational journey. We'll be right back after a short break. Thank you.
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas.
Tired of Waylon, Willie, and the boys? Join me, Gordon Lockhart, for Beethoven, Bach, and the Boys. Every Saturday from 8 to midnight on Lone Star Classical Music After Dark. Symphonies, concertos, and sonatas by composers such as Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Bernstein. That's Lone Star Classical Music After Dark, every Saturday from 8 to midnight on irlonestar.com.
Hello, I'm Mark Hader.
And this is Cindy Cochran inviting you to join us on the Cindy and Mark Show each weekday morning from 10 to 11 here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Super, Cindy, but I believe it's the Mark and Cindy Show.
Huh? Yes, it is, Mark. And it's broadcast live on Lone Star Internet Radio here in beautiful downtown Conroe. Oh, the exciting things we'll talk about, the interesting guests you'll get to meet, the wonderful gifts we'll give away, and the tons of...
Wait. Gifts? There are no gifts. I'm not giving away anything. Why do you get to decide on what we do? It's Mark and Cindy, remember?
Oh, yeah? Well, so ladies and gentlemen, tune in and we'll all find out who gets to decide stuff. Weekday mornings at 10 here on Lone Star Internet Radio. How was that?
It could have been worse. You could have sung your part.
Oh, yeah, wait. It's the Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show.
Welcome back to Willis ISD's District Dynamics for May 7th, 2014. And our first guest this morning is Metter Elementary Principal, Miss Nan Seith. Nan, glad to join us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start off with a little background information about yourself.
I am a Yankee, and I have been transplanted to Texas since 1985. I had 7 years of teaching in Illinois and then moved to Houston ISD, where I finished out 9 years there, went to Fort Bend ISD for 7, and went back to Houston ISD as an administrator for 4 years. I then had a wonderful opportunity to work as an independent consultant for an educational reform company and traveled the U.S. and worked with schools that were in need of improvement. So I found my way to Cold Spring, Texas, and found my way to Willis ISD through your website, and was lucky enough to apply and be given the opportunity to work.
Well, very good. Well, you've been here almost 20 years, so we'll go ahead and claim you as Texan now.
Well, thank you very much.
And I'll tell our audience, that Nan's background with working with struggling schools across the United States, to me, was just some experience and some assets that she could bring to our district that, you can't read in the book, you can't explain to folks unless you've seen it and to be a part of it. And she's doing a great job at Metter, and we're extremely pleased to have her with us full time. Let's talk a little bit about Metter, and you've got a lot of things going on in which you're inviting parents to come up and partner with your school to help our kids be successful.
We do. We open our doors every morning and let our wonderful children in, but we also hope that the parents come with them. And one of the programs that we brought to Metter was something that I saw at another Willis elementary school, at Turner Elementary, and it's called the Watchdogs program. It is a national program for dads to get involved in the schools. And we brought the program to Metter. We held a pizza night with dads, and we ended up with 300 people, wow, kids and dads. We were expecting 150, so we were scrambling for pizza all over Willis. Ended up finding enough, and every day that we did not X out on our calendar, we have at least one watchdog on our campus. What we do with them on a daily basis, we ask them to work with kids in the classroom. They help us supervise in our lunchroom sometimes. They do extra chores around if we have specific things that we feel the dad might enjoy doing. But mainly they spend time with their kiddos in their classrooms, and that's the most rewarding part for our dads.
Right. Well, they also had a donuts for dads that I had the luxury of attending. And if you've ever been to Metter Elementary's campus, their cafeteria, when I tell you it was full, that was not a understatement. It was completely packed with dads and kids, and it was just a very, powerful moment is probably the best way to describe it, with that many dads being a part of education. And I think so many times we want to be known as a district who, we call our parents and get them involved, not just when there's something going wrong or if it's negative. You seem to always, if something negative's going on, you get a phone call, but the positive things is what we really want to reach out to. And I love competition in our school district, and after the Watchdogs program kicked off, a little competition kicked in with some of our moms. So tell us what you came up with that.
Well, actually, it's interesting that you bring up the Donuts with Dads, because some of our PTO parents, our mothers, were serving the donuts to dads. And they came as a collective group to me after the Donuts with Dads, and the kids weren't even in their classrooms yet. And they said, why can't we have something like this for moms? So we started brainstorming and came up with a program for our mothers called Metter Moms, and the Moms stands for, I didn't tell you that Watchdogs stands for Dads of Great Students, and our Metter Moms stands for Magnificent students are mothers of magnificent students. So we, one of our PTO moms designed T-shirts, and in order to participate, they had to come to a Muffins with Mom program, and we had, I believe we had 50 or 60 mothers there. And again, we have signed up a mom for every day that we did not X out on our calendar. So all of our testing days we X'd out when we closed our campus. And then every other day we have usually a watchdog and a Metter mom on our campus. We decided to do something a little different with our Metter moms. We are asking them to pull children out of the classrooms to read with them in the library and work with them in the library. So our Metter moms are mainly a pull-out for a short period of time with students, and our dads go into the classroom.
Right.
So.
Well, I was able to attend the Muffins with Mom, and once again, if you want a packed cafeteria on any type of parent morning, the Watchdogs and the Moms program definitely bring them in. So that was awesome to see, and I'm a firm believer that any district that's successful has an excellent partnership with parents as well as the community, and it takes all of us to do it to really educate a child fully and completely.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I just want to add, with our Metter Moms program, we have increased our participation in our PTO, and mothers are becoming more aware of the opportunities that we have at school for them to come and volunteer. So our students are seeing the benefit of having dads and moms on campus, and they're so proud to introduce their moms and dads on our morning announcements. They tell us who they are, what grade they're in, who their teacher is, and then they introduce their parent and tell them that they are a watchdog today, and I hope you get to meet them, or I hope you get to work with them.
Right.
So
That's awesome. And I've been at some districts that, at larger districts that had campuses, where we can't get parents to participate. You've got to come up with a program that gives them an avenue to participate, and what are you going to do with them? And you've got to dangle a carrot out there is, hey, this is what we have for you. This is what we'd like to be a part of, because folks just aren't going to randomly volunteer to come up unless there's something and they feel wanted about coming into the school building to help. So let's talk a little bit about technology in the classrooms and what's taking place at Metter.
Well, we have been blessed to be the recipient of some of the technology that you brought to the board, and the board okayed for us. And we've received Nexus tablets. We also did a fun run. In January, I decided when I got to the campus in the fall of last year that we really needed to boost our technology on our campus. So we did a fun run as a fundraiser, and 100% of the profit that we made from that fun run was dedicated to technology. With that and some of the extra funds that we were able to pull together on our campus, we purchased additional Nexus tablets, and we also purchased 27 T100 tablet laptop combinations. With the Nexus tablets, we were a little sort of pigeonholed with some of the things that we could do with our kids,
Right.
and they were not able to do research with those. And we saw the success that you guys are having with the T100s at the middle school level, and wanted to duplicate that into our elementary levels. So we purchased a cart, and the cart has room for 36, and I'm able to purchase 27 to fit in those 36 holes. So next year I'm saving money, and we're going to do another fun run next year, and again,
Awesome.
It will be technology based.
Right.
We also, through our budget, I was able to purchase 31 e-beams. We know that with digital textbooks next year, we're going to need to boost our technology skills and the use of technology for our classrooms. So the e-beams were sort of mandatory in my mind.
Right.
And we purchased them, and they have been installed. And I walked into a second grade classroom last week right after they installed it, and the teacher was already experimenting with it. And this young man jumped up from his chair and ran to greet me at the door and said, "Look, we got something new, and it's magic." And I said, "Awesome." So The teachers are starting to enjoy the e-beams already, and we're planning lots of training on that.
And that's something our district has talked a lot about. It's not technology that improves necessarily lessons or makes kids smarter, but it's what you do with technology. If you roll technology out, that engagement piece is naturally there, but it's what you're going to do and work with it. And Nan and her campus, as well as our district, is making a big push to educate our teachers, make them feel comfortable in using the technology. And if they're comfortable with the process, there's no doubt that our kids will benefit from it in the long run.
Absolutely. It's so much more interactive for the kids. And once they can move that stylus around and move things across that board, they can start explaining their own thinking so that we can see their thinking visibly instead of just assuming that we think that they have learned what we hope that they have learned.
Right.
So.
And the traditional classroom settings are changing at Willis, and we're excited about it. We feel like we're trying to get ahead of the curve, and that our 21st century learners, we want 21st century classrooms. So we're excited about where we're going with the future. So, Nan, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schisler, and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schisler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschisler@silverfox.org or call into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
Welcome back to Willis ISD's District Dynamics for May the 7th, 2014. And our second guest today is our gifted and talented specialist, Miss Amy Rogers. Amy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's start off a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I moved to Texas 11 years ago from Southern California, where I lived for 26 years. And before that, I lived in Virginia and was born in New Orleans. I've been a teacher in Willis for the last 10 years, and I absolutely love Willis, and I'm proud to have it be my home.
Well, very good. Tell us a little, let's start with just some general information about our GT program.
Okay. At the current time, our program is a pull-out program where the gifted and students in grades 1 through 5 meet twice a week for 45 minutes each, and they work on research or extension projects. At the children's ability level, we actually add kindergartners in the spring semester in March. That way they can get their feet wet. I also work with teachers to monitor students as well as modify instruction to better meet their needs in the classroom should the need arise. We're currently in discussions with making some small changes into the program for the next school year. We're looking into my possibly pushing into the classroom more to assist teachers and students more, and then pulling them out less. At the end of each project unit, we have a district-wide parent and family night that we welcome the public to come and visit. It's a night to celebrate and showcase all the hard work that the students have been working on through the semester. And our next one is actually on Wednesday, May 7th from 6 to 7 p.m. at Parmley Elementary.
Very good. My son participated in that last year, and Amy puts in a lot of time and effort. And that was a awesome night to see the creativity that the kids come up with, and you could tell it was totally done on their own. And it was very neat to watch what all they do. Discuss a little bit about the focus on the social and emotional needs of a gifted student.
Well, gifted students are a little bit different. They generally fall into two categories. They either are intently focused and driven or very highly creative and independent thinkers. So because of those certain needs, they sometimes need a little bit of coaching on how to work effectively with others in teams or groups, or how to communicate more effectively when working in those teams or groups. Additionally, most GT students are creatures of habit. So I like to try to push them outside of their comfort zone because when they are adults, they will not necessarily be allowed to stay just in their comfort zone in the work world. I do that through destination, imagination style instant challenges, forcing them to do things like improv or instant building challenges with unknown objects. We also talk about ways to deal with internal self-imposed stress as well as external pressure, and more healthy ways to handle that.
Right. Well, I've went to a few GT conferences, and I think the perception's out there, and I had this perception at one time that GT students were always your brightest and smartest and made your best grades, and that's really not the case at all. You'd really be surprised that sometime a student who is labeled as gifted actually struggles academically as far as just grades. A lot of times they can know it, they can do it blindfolded, they just don't see the need because there's not a challenge there for them. So there's a misconception there that I think a lot of people do not understand.
Right, and oftentimes I will have students that their desk and backpack look like a complete disaster. Their brain is doing 20 different things at once, and those are my creative, independent thinkers. And they're not always as motivated as teachers or parents would like them to be, but that's just how they are. Their brains are just doing too much all at once.
Right.
So,
well, I've got one that lives under my roof, so I'm very much aware. I have to help him clean out his binder every 6 weeks, and we shed about 8 pounds of paper, and then he's good to go for the next 6 weeks. So I totally understand it. It's amazing. He's one of the brightest kids I've ever been around, and thinks and talks on a different level. But there's other tasks that give him difficulty that you would think wouldn't. But it's definitely an interesting challenge. Let's talk a little bit about the referral process and how students are chosen for the program.
Okay. Referral can occur from anywhere. Parent, teacher, school, district staff, community members, administrators, relatives. Some of my best referrals come from peers. The GT students tend to find each other and will refer, or the students can refer themselves as well. They can occur at any time throughout the school year. However, testing is at 3 preset times a year. In September for new or transfer students. February is for kindergarten, and then in May is the bulk of our testing, and we test K through 4 in May. The referral forms can be obtained on the Willis ISD website, the Gifted and Talented, under the Gifted and Talented tab. Also from the counselors at each campus. We use different instruments to measure different areas. We test kindergarten only in the area of ability with one test, but the other students in grades 1 through 5 are tested in 2 areas, in ability and academic achievement. After testing and scoring is completed, I convene a GT committee with one person from each campus, trained in the social and emotional needs of gifted and talented students. They review the testing data, actually blind, no names are on it, just identification numbers are on it. They review the data and they make decisions for placement.
Okay. Now, on the actual testing, do you do the testing yourself?
I do administer all the testing, yes,
Okay.
unless it is a bilingual student.
Okay.
Those students are, if they are bilingual, they are tested in their home language.
Okay.
And then I have assistance with that.
Right. Very good. Talk a little bit about the use of technology in your GT program.
Well, in GT, we are definitely fans of technology. And in today's society, these kids are digital natives. They don't know a life without technology. And with our GT class, we actually have 10 tablets to use for our students. I take them with me to classes. We also have access to either net labs or library computer centers on all of my campus for research projects. We've used different things to, like, for example, Animoto to create presentations, as well as our students are now learning how to navigate their Google Drive accounts this year. And they love to use Edmodo, which is our educational social network, to relate to one another, as well as to complete online assignments, projects, things like that, as well as to share school and GT related information with one another. It gives them that opportunity to communicate across campuses and across the district. We also communicate and share information with parents via Edmodo, as well as Class Dojo and Remind 101. And for next year, I'm looking into creating a student-written blog for our GT students, sharing their experience.
Awesome. That's very cool. We did a blog when I did my superintendent certification, and at first I'm like, really? But when you get into the blog process, if as you're learning new things, if you're not taking notes, and it's obviously impossible to remember everything, but if you're making notes of your thoughts and what you're doing, and then you've got something to refer to, it ends up being a pretty neat process.
Right. And if you sit down with a gifted student for any concerted amount of time, they have a lot to say.
Right.
And I think that this would be a great outlet for some of these kids to share their experiences. And, I look forward to doing that next year.
Yeah, that'll be a neat project. Let's talk a little bit about, in closing, what happens when we know that you service basically K through 5 students when GT students hit middle school.
Okay. Currently, GT students in the secondary level in junior high and high school are served through pre-AP, AP, and dual credit courses. There may be some changes going on coming in the next year. We're looking for new ways to track our students through junior high and high school. And obviously, when they get to that secondary level, we encourage them to take courses in areas that they are gifted in or excel in, for example, in the sciences, mathematics, technology, fine arts. And we just encourage them to become involved in every opportunity they have at every level, to feed that giftedness that they have in the areas that they qualified in.
Right. Well, very good. Well, Amy, we appreciate you joining us. We were lucky enough to steal her away. She runs between 5 campuses all day, every day, and does an outstanding job. And we've talked a little bit about, we're in the process of hiring a new curriculum director for the 2014-15 year. And that's something I want that person to look into our program of how I think we only have one Amy. We'd be better if we had 2 Amys, of what we could do to kind of help her as far as staffing wise to improve our program to make it the best that we possibly can. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoor Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
Welcome back to our final segment of Willis ISD's District Dynamics. We're going to start off with our athletics update and the spring, as well as just about year-round with our athletic events. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to start with a hot topic for us and our boys and girls track team. We showed out in the area track meet, and the Willis girls won the area track meet, and our boys were runner-up in the area track meet 2 weekends ago, actually, at Huntsville. We had our Region 3 Class 4A regional track tournament, and we're extremely excited of how our boys and girls performed. We've got three of our students who have qualified for the state track meet, which will be this weekend. They will run the finals for the 4A is Friday night at 6 o'clock. I've never been to a state track meet before, and we'll be heading down Friday morning, and excited about seeing our three kids. Representing the 400-meter champion was Chris Platt. Chris has a very unique opportunity in front of him. Chris is a three-time defending state champion in the 400-meter dash. He has an opportunity to become the third person in the history of the state of Texas to win 4 state championships in the 400 meters. So excited about cheering him on. John Lewis won the 100-meter dash at Region, and John ran his lowest time of his career at a 10.37. He is tied for the fastest time heading into the state meet, and excited about seeing him. And then also one of our girls, Tiana Spivey, was finished second in regional in the 400-meter dash. Tiana has the second fastest time heading into the state tournament. Right behind the girl, she finished second, but she almost caught her at the end. So we've got 3 of our kids heading down to the state track meet. All 3 have a legitimate shot to win first place or at worst medal, and we're excited about their opportunity. They represented us as well as our other participants at the region meet, and we will be in Austin cheering them on Friday. Next up, we've got the golf team had all-state academic selections. Dustin Armato was second team, Miles McKinney was first team, and Ashley O'Connell was honorable mention. Willis Lady Cat softball tied for 4th, and for the last playoff spot, they had a playoff and unfortunately dropped a tiebreaker to Waller in extra innings. They played a great game, had an excellent year, and have a very young and talented team back for next year, so we're expecting big things from them next year. And then also on Tuesday, our Lynn Lucas tennis team played Mance Park from Huntsville, and Lynn Lucas beat them by a combined score of 101-37. So excited about our young tennis players there at Lynn Lucas. This week is a big week in Teacher Appreciation Week, and if teachers anywhere, if you're listening to this, everyone knows that teachers love to wear jeans. So as a small token of appreciation, I sent out an email. I was like, well, I hope they don't get mad. You know what? We do a lot of things for them at the campus level, that they could wear jeans all week. My email over the next 10 minutes literally almost blew up. They were extremely happy and smiling, and my wife's a teacher in the district, and she's thanking me every morning that she gets to wear jeans. So, and there's no pun intended there. Teachers actually do enjoy wearing jeans. There's obviously a big push for teacher appreciation. I mean, as far as professional dress with our teachers, but anyone that's been in education and walk into an elementary classroom, and our teachers are all over the place with their kids and do a great job, and it's just an opportunity for them to be comfortable, and excited to be able to do that for them. And then our Nurses Day is also on Wednesday, May the 7th. We have an excellent team of nurses that support our schools and our kids, and do an excellent job for our school district. And then Thursday, May the 8th, our Honor Choir Concert will be at Lynn Lucas Auditorium at 6 p.m. On Tuesday, May the 13th, the Willis High School Choir Spring Pop Show will be at the Lynn Lucas Auditorium at 7 p.m. Our May board meeting, a regular scheduled board meeting, will be May the 14th at 6 p.m. at the Cargill Education Support Center. And Tuesday, May 20th, we mentioned this earlier, will be our Willis High School Senior Awards Night at 6 p.m. at Lynn Lucas. That's a great event to come see. I think you'd be extremely surprised, proud, and honored to see the amount of scholarships that our senior class for 2014 has been awarded for this coming year and where all they're going. They have made us extremely proud. Our Willis High School football program right now is in the middle of spring football, and their spring football game will be Friday, May the 23rd at football stadium there at Lynn Lucas. Excited about that. And then a holiday is upcoming. We've had some bad weather days. We were able to leave our holidays alone and make up those at different times. So Monday, May the 26th will be our Memorial Day holiday. Friday, June the 6th is the last day of school, and I always tell our kids that as excited as they are, I can promise you my teachers are 10 times more excited. They've done a great job and worked very hard, and Friday, June the 6th will be an early release day. As well as the last day of school, and that will also be our night of graduation for our class of 2014 at 7 o'clock at Sam Houston State University. Very excited about what we're doing at Willis, the amount of great things our kids are doing and showcasing, and the awards that they're winning, the amount of work that our teachers are putting in, and the effort that they're putting in to make every one of our kids be successful and to grow them. And it's just a great time to be a part of our district. At the district level right now, we're working extremely hard to game plan and get prepared for the 2014-15 season. Our year, I've been doing that really probably for the last 3 months, is making plans and decisions on next year. Even though we're closing this year down, we're always thinking ahead and growing. Also, we had I think it's been quite a few years before our state UIL academic qualifier that we've had, and I'm probably going to mess this name up. They're going to be feature writing May the 20th. Her name is DeJanery Mengamel, and probably butchered your name, sweetheart, and I'm very sorry. But she has done a great job. Emily Meechan is our UIL academic sponsor, and she was absolutely thrilled by her qualifying, and we're very proud of her and the hard work she's done. Emily does a great job with our UIL academic team and has for many years, and to have someone go to state is just a showcase of the talent we have in district and the job that Emily has done with them. So thank you very much for joining us for the Willis ISD's District Dynamics, and we'll see you next month.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.